Welcome to Automate Your Network. So we can start reading the book now because I've got my lab set up. Let me do a mic check. Mic check 1, 2 looks good. Let's do a noise floor test. Okay, so I'm using the treadmill, but around that time is fine. So, okay, so last video I finished just about everything in my lab except for the firewalls. We are going to have to figure out how to set those up at some time. But for now, all we need to be concerned about is reading the book, since the lab is now ready. So I can close this, and let's open the portion of the books that we were at before. So it's Automate Your Network. So if we open Visual Studio Code from here. Okay. There we go. So this is where I was last time, I believe. I was on chapter 6. I'm not sure what chapter this is. Doesn't look like it's chapter 6. Very unclear what chapter this is. Oh, it's actually chapter 1. So yeah, I was on chapter 6 as far as I know. Let's go up to the table of contents. Hopefully we can skip down, or at the very least just Control F. There we go. So yep, I was on chapter 6. So chapter 6 is network reconnaissance. Okay, so chapter 6 started with getting the network set up. I did read quite a bit of it. Okay, so now we can begin reading here and go through these tasks. So start automating the network. Go to TFS. So remember how to get there. That's going to be in the book notes here. So here's the TFS link. Okay, and then we need to create a, oh, and this just randomly opened. So now we need to create a, we need to get the book back. Okay, and it's doing, I've said this multiple times before. I hate VS Code, like, with an absolute passion. Like, it just the fact that, like, the settings randomly change, it asks you to update, it takes forever to load. Like, I honestly, like, hate it. But, okay, it seems to be working good now. So we're going to start gathering information. Start automating network. So we go to TFS, which I had there. We're going to create a new work item called campus. We'll call it campus facts because we've got all different kinds of vendors, and then we'll move it to active. So let's do that. So here's the project. We'll go to the boards. Oh, you know what? We got some of these done. So let's go to the boards. So yeah, here's what we're doing. We're building out. Oh, you know what? This whole thing is pretty much done because we've got that out of band access. So we definitely got this part done. So everything finished except for firewalls. Okay, and now we can actually mark this one done. Okay, so yeah, this one is done. Then the next one was configuring firewalls. Yep, so everything done except firewalls. and we'll have to add that to like all of them. There we go, and then we'll mark this one to done as well. Okay, so then the next one is, yep, so authentication. So then standardized configurations. We don't have this one done yet, so we'll leave that open. I'm not going to follow along exactly with what the book says. So it says to do a campus fax, and to do that, let's follow. Let's try to go ahead, and we'll do it under. Well, you know what? Let's actually go ahead and make a work item for this. So, okay, so we've got this building out prerequisite. Okay, so let's make a new epic. Okay, so this automatically creates an epic. So let's delete that. We'll create a new again, and then we'll say collecting network facts as per chapter 6 of the book. Okay, so then I'm going to move this into doing as well. We'll open this up, and then yeah, so let's see what we need to do now. Okay, so we need to create a iOS fax branch. Okay, so we did that. We moved it to active. Now we're going to create a new branch called campus fax. Do a git pull to put it on the local repository to where we'll be running Ansible, which will be in the lab, and then in the local repository we'll change to the iOS fax branch. So first, let's make sure that we have a iOS fax branch. So let's add an existing item, and then we're gonna make it a oh, these are the work items. I want to add the development, and I need some sedentary time, so I'm gonna take that. There we go. Okay. All right, and I'll actually be back in just a minute. All right, I'm back, so let's keep going. Oh, okay. There we go. So we've got automate your network. Yep, that's what we're working on now. So we've got a network fax here. I want to get a not a related work, but I want to make the repo on it. But yeah, so we've got a repo. Oh, okay, and then we've got the campus fax. So, you know what? We're all good to go. So we can open this up in the lab and start doing the actual work. Okay, so typically this would be done, I think, on these jump hosts, or like through the internet, like in-band. But we're just going to use the out-of-band network for this first one. This should be just checking some initial facts. Basically, just this is the first time we try to run Ansible against our network, so we just want to make sure that that works before doing anything else, before getting more sophisticated. This is like basically the simplest possible reach out we'll do using Ansible on the network. All right, so yeah, we've got that looking good. So warning, Embedding passwords in plain text is never a good idea and always a security concern. The following practice is not recommended, and we're not using this practice, we're using SSH key authentication. Is not a recommended practice or best practice, and there are ways, specifically vaulting. So that's a way too, but I'm not doing that either, to protect system account passwords that provide access to the network device CLI. For the sake of educating and being able to proceed without having to fully understand and make vaulting work, use this method for now. Vaulting also prompts for a password at runtime, which may interfere with full automation. So, yep. The best option is to harden code into a fresh repository after vaulting passwords and secrets. Migrate all folders and files without the Git history into a fresh repository without passwords being visible. To get started, either hardcode or prompt for credentials. An alternative method is to prompt the user for credentials at runtime. Hardcode the service account username and prompt for the password when the Ansible playbook is executed. This approach is secure, however, offers less flexibility for full automation as a password is required at runtime. Ansible vars_prompt can be used to create interactive playbooks that prompt the user for username and password. Yep. Be aware that as soon as git commits the local changes, the password becomes visible in the clear as part of the branch. After a pull request is merged, the password becomes available in clear text as part of the master branch. This history cannot be deleted. It is part of the Git version control. So Ansible Vault, you can learn about that there. You can learn about using Vault in playbooks. You can learn about how to use Vault to protect sensitive data in Ubuntu. You can learn about how Vault works, and you can learn about Ansible prompts. So I'm not doing any of that. I'm using SSH public key authentication. All right, so navigate to /group_vars and create a file called all.yaml and replace the user/password with credentials that will allow Ansible to log into devices. So this is what we would do here. I don't think we need to do that because so we will need everything here, but we just won't need the password. And then we won't name it CLI, iOS CLI, we'll just name it CLI. So if I do a change to documents, CD documents, yep, so Graham's automated network, looks good to me. So now let's open it in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so okay, there we go. So it's working. There we go. So it looks good to me. Yep, Visual Studio Code. We want to maximize that. So we can do view maybe. Oh, under here. Oh, no, there's nothing under there. There, we can click this here and maximize it. Now, it is going to be a bit leggy because it's on the virtual machine, but hopefully it's not too bad. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so as the book said, the next step is to go to group vars, which is here. And then we're going to add a file called all.yaml. Okay, and then we're going to edit this file. So we have to give it the playbook syntax, which is 3 dashes at the top. And then we're going to call it CLI instead of iOS CLI because we're using different, we're not just using iOS. And then I'm going to hit the tab key and then do username. Okay, and then the server's account I'll be using is gposh. And then not the password, since it's going to be using the key, but we do need to give it the host. There we go. And there's no, because it's YAML, there's no commas or anything. And then we need to give it the port. All right, so looks good to me. Let's do a save. And now annotate and push the change to the remote branch. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna click the remote branch. We're gonna do we're gonna stage the changes, and then we're gonna annotate the change. So we're gonna Ansible login file, login using RSA pub key auth. Looks good to me. Oops. So make sure your username. You configure that. Okay. Okay. So let's cancel that for now. Then let's set that up here. So yeah. So we'll do a get status. There you go. And then a git commit -m, and it'll give us those instructions here. This is why I'm doing it this way. And the other thing we need to do, of course, is verify the branch that we're in. Okay, so we're on the main branch, so this is not the appropriate branch. We need to be in the other branch. So let's do git checkout, and then we'll check out the campus facts. Okay. And now git status. There we go. And then git commit -m. Okay. And enter. There we go. And now we can't do it, but we get the commands that'll make it happen. Okay, so I can put in my email there. All right, copy and then paste it in. And then I can put in my name in there. All right. Okay, and now we can safely just hit the commit here, and we're good to go. And yep, we'll have sync changes as well. Yep, and we want it to go to that branch, so it looks good to me. All right, so on to the next one. Oh, we do need the password. Oh, so we got the wrong password. We should have a public key, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so it's syncing it to HTTPS. You know what? That's okay. I think all we have to do is shoot. How does this work? Yeah, so we can do it with SSH keys, which is, I think, the way I would like to do it. So yeah, let's do a git remote -v. Yeah, and then let's change. Let's use the AI to try to figure this out. So here it is. So let's go back to the repo. Yep, and then let's go clone. Yeah, SSH. Copy. Learn more about SSH. Yeah, so we can do a git set remote URL and then change it like that. Or git remote set URL. And then the key is already uploaded. Okay, so the name of it is Graham's Automated Network. Okay, and then the URL, which is yeah, unfortunately I think I'll have to type it out all the way, but that's okay. At least I'll get to the answer, and I'll have to do it without being able to see what I'm typing. Okay, so it looks like I got some kind of error here. Yeah, so it says HTTPS. Yeah, that's not correct. Yeah, so I entered in the wrong thing. So let's make this a lot easier. So I'm gonna copy it, go to Notepad++, or it's just Notepad. Okay, and then put it in there, and that should make things easier. Okay. Yep. And then we want to do an add on it, I think. Oh no, we have to say set URL origin to that. Perfect. Okay, yeah, looks good. Get remote-v. So now it looks good. So now I should be able to do the git push, or the sync. I should be able to do the sync. Yep, and I'm sure I want to continue. And it failed, because of course it failed. What the heck? Why did it fail? Warning, permanently added to the list. Okay. Oh, public key authentication error. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. That's fine. I don't think that's a problem. That's not a problem because I can just upload the key to it. So first thing I need to do is just to go to it here. Okay, and then go to the repo. Okay, and now upload the key to it. Or actually go here. Yeah. Which I'm surprised because I thought the key had it already, but apparently it doesn't. So let's add a new key. We'll call it the OB automation server. All right, yeah, that's a whole different key. So obviously something was wrong with that. All right, and only now are there no longer issues, and I do not want it to periodically run that. All right, so hey, made some progress. Slow, steady progress over time. That's the best way to go. So save, commit, annotate, and push the change to the remote branch. Done. Navigate to Playbooks Campus Tactical. So let's do that. So Playbooks. There we go. And there's no Campus Tactical. That wasn't a part of what they wanted. So is it in group vars? No. Yeah, they just never had that. So I don't know why it's in this Campus Tactical folder, but let's just add those. So we're gonna go to Playbooks, and then we're gonna add a folder. And it's going to be called Campus. Okay, and then inside we're going to add another one. It's going to be called Tactical. All right, and then we'll add a git ignore to Tactical, so that there's something in there. Okay, and then we'll make a new file, and we'll call it Campus facts.yaml. Okay, and then we'll write the following. Oops, there we go. Okay, and then we'll write the following Ansible playbook. And note for page space and readability, the output path is simply going to be /results for all output in the examples to follow. Replace this with the longer path pointing to the documentation folder structure created earlier. So for example, documentation slash, and I'll call this /campus slash recon playbooks slash iOS facts. So let's set up that right now. So we're going to make a new folder in here. And it's going to be campus. And then it's going to be recon playbooks. Okay, and then it's going to be campus facts. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll add a file to that. The git ignore. Okay, and then yeah, so that this will be the output path for that we'll put in here. Okay, so now let's make our campus facts playbook. So we need the playbook syntax right there for YAML, and then dash hosts campus, and then tasks dash name. So device fax on campus, and then register iOS fax output iOS fax provider copy content equals okay, that looks good. Oh, and that's my sedentary alarm. I do notice that this is not the right color, presumably. But let's take care of this sedentary alarm. Alright, sedentary alarm is now being addressed. Okay, so now we can continue. Oops, and I don't need to be that unsedentary. Kind of wore myself out the last time. Okay, so there we go. So next step is in the book. So it's the content. So after that is the dest. Okay, and this is where we have to be careful about where it actually is. So we don't want it to be so in the tactical. So I think we can use the root because it'll be the root of this here. I think I actually don't even know. That's kind of an interesting question, but let me make it really clear. So it'll be we're in tactical, so it'd be campus, playbooks. Yeah, so going back one would take us from tactical to campus, then to playbooks, and then back one again. And then documentation. Okay, and then campus, and then recon playbooks. Okay, and then campus fax. All right, so that's the folder it belongs to. So let's see what the file name is. And let's just put the file name on its own line down here and then move it up later. So the file name is this. Inventory host name, and then underscore iOS fax output.json. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Everything looks great. Okay. Yeah, so first specify the scope of the play, which is hosts, and specify 2 tasks. So we've got the scope of the play, and we've got 2 tasks. The first task name is iOS Facts on Campus, which will display during runtime. Register the output to the variable named iOS Facts under output. So we did that. And the provider credentials can be found in the iOS_CLI. So I have to be careful with this because I did not name that. So I have to give it the name that I actually gave to it, which was CLI. All right, so copy the content of the variable iOS Facts output. Let's change this variable to campus Facts output to keep that the same, because I'm not using iOS, so let's be careful not to use iOS anywhere. I am using iOS occasionally, but I'm using more multi-vendor. Alright, so copy the content of the variable and apply the filter to the output. Send this output dest to a file called inventory hostname, a variable that will be replaced at runtime with each device hostname. Finally, append and create the file with that. Yeah, so the full file name is going to be the host names from your inventory hostname file, and then with that text after it. As a JavaScript object notation file and in the JSON format. For more information about JSON, please visit json.org. For more information about Ansible filters, please visit here. So I can have sedentary time now if I choose it. I feel fine, so I'm not going to choose it. Here is the playbook in action, first in dry run, in check mode. Okay, so exciting times in this series. We're going to run a Ansible playbook. So the first thing I need to check, though, before I do it is make sure that my host.ini file is created correctly. Okay, so we did a bunch of renaming on the network, and it looks like some of these are actually not named correctly now. So let's update the names of the data center and the core. So let's go through and make sure that these names are correct. Okay, so all the data center is completely wrong. So let's fix that. And it's just all of these are going to be wrong. There we go. Okay, so data distribution switches, and then the leaf switches, and then the cores are wrong as well. All right, that looks great. So let's run that playbook, and if it's successful, save. Do a commit of all this. Or the commit will come later. We'll keep following along with the book. So let's run the playbook. So the command for that will be Ansible -playbook iOS facts.yml. Okay, so we don't have Ansible. We got to install Ansible. Let's do that. just playing a little bit of waiting music here while we wait. You can think of it as like lounge music. Okay, there we go. All right, so next step will be to do that, run that playbook. Oops, so iOS facts.yaml cannot be found, which makes sense because that's not what I named it. So yeah, this is good. We actually named it campus facts, so let's get that right. So that's the playbook. So and here we have iOS, so campus. Name that there. So I think it's probably in the all.yaml. No, it's not there. So this is kind of interesting. Oh, you know what? Because yeah, it's what I fed to it. So we got to feed it campus facts. Oops, same thing. Campusfacts.yaml could not be found, which is interesting because, so here's the big lesson, and this will trip up a lot of beginners. It's not going to trip up me because I'm not a beginner. But if we look at our present working directory, yeah, we don't see campus facts. Where it exists is in our playbooks directory. Playbooks, campus, tactical, campus facts. That's where it exists. So we have to feed it the location where it actually is. Okay, so and the correct syntax is a dash, not an underscore. Okay, the provided host list is empty. Only localhost is available. Note that the implicit localhost does not match all. Could not match the host pattern. So there's no hosts matched. And I think the reason is we have to have our etc hosts file. Which is weird. Like, why does it have to do that? I don't want it to do that because like it already. Yeah, the host comes from the inventory hostname, which should come from here. So I want it to just blast. I don't want it to. Like I want it to just do it because it's all set up and ready to go. Yeah, so it could not match supplied host pattern campus. So note that does not match all. So provided host list is empty. Hosts campus. Oh yeah, so here's where we have to feed it something. So let's try it against the data center first. Yeah, okay, so hopefully this should work. Nope, that didn't work either, which is interesting because I thought it would match it based on what's here, and we see data center is there. I need to take my sedentary time. All right, so yeah, not sure what's going on there. So interesting. So the provided host list is empty. Only local host is available. Is that because of what's in hosts? Like that? Is that why? What host lists? Oh, is this it because of the provider here? The provider here is CLI. Yeah, I thought we were doing host equals inventory host name. Yeah, see how it will I think there's something going wrong here because when it runs it on campus, it's able to pick out. It's able to so like I wonder if there's a different. I feel like there's a much different iOS fax. So we can see like the answer key here. So let's look at the hosts folder. Okay, so we've got campus and then a colon. So that could have something to do with it. So then campus core is there. Yeah, so that could have something to do with it. Let's take a look at the all. Or let's take a look at the tactical. Oh man. I need a break. I might end the video. No, I'm gonna take a break and come back. All right, I'm back. Might need to cut this video short. That looks like I've got a lot of troubleshooting that I'll need to do. Now, the cool thing about version control like this is if I want to interact with the AI on this and then make the corrections here, I can definitely do so because it's another repository, so I can pull it down here and not have to deal with the lag between these two. So I think I might do that. The other thing that's really neat is I can feed it. I can just feed it a link to my repo as well, as far as I know. I know I can on GitHub. Maybe I can on Azure as well. But I might need to talk a bit with the AI in order to get this worked out. So we can see one of the things that is definitely going wrong is the hosts aren't corresponding to what's in the host.ini file. Yeah, I thought the provider was here, but we can see it's just not, yeah, it's just not working out. Yeah, so the provided host list is empty. Only local host is available. Note that the implicit local host does not match all. Could not match supplied host pattern, ignoring data center. So yeah, there's some issue with my host folder. So the answer key here. Let's take a look again. Oh, you know what? I think I can't name it. I think I can't name it INI is what's going on. I think it just has to be named hosts, not host.ini. Let me try that. Okay, so maybe this makes a difference. Same issue. It's not able to find that hosts folder. Now it could be that it's in the wrong. Let me try moving this to where this exists. Okay, same issue. So we can see there's an issue where it can't find that host. I'll rename it back to INI because that wasn't the problem. Yeah, and I'm kind of dead in the water for now. So I think I'm gonna save this all my changes here. And then, yeah, stay tuned for the next video where I have some serious discussions with the AI about what's going wrong here. So let's go to here. Let's stage everything, and then we'll say first ran first playbook. Chat GPT. T-shoot session needed. Okay, so those are the staged changes. Let's stage all of them. Okay, and then commit it. All right, and then sync the changes. Okay, and then that's going to be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one where I have a T-shoot session with ChatGPT and try to get that to happen successfully as the book is expecting. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.